As Stranger Things Season 5 unleashes its first volume and ignites chaos across the fandom, the internet has evolved into a hive of feverish speculation. Fans are dissecting every promo shot, every cryptic title card, every line of whispered dialogue, and every sonic hum from the Upside Down like it is some ancient prophecy waiting to be decoded. Volume 1 detonated mysteries like landmines, and with the Christmas and New Year's Eve episodes looming as the alleged emotional extinction event, the fandom has collectively lost any sense of rationality. Reddit threads have turned into digital cults. X-users are in psychic collapse. YouTube is one misinterpreted frame away from declaring the return of Billy Hargrove as an eldritch demo daddy. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master, and today we're diving deep into the wildest, most unhinged, brain-melting theories fans believe could reshape Season 5 forever. From hidden villains to doomed heroes, from time loops to multiverse madness, if you thought the Upside Down was done surprising you, think again. Number 1. The entire show is a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, or a psychiatric ward coma dream. No Stranger Things theory has caused more existential dread than the claim that the show never truly happened. According to this speculative labyrinth, the entire narrative, from the first Demogorgon encounter into Vecna's ritualistic murders, is nothing more than a hyper-immersive Dungeons & Dragons campaign orchestrated by Mike Wheeler. The characters in this interpretation are merely avatars trapped in a collaborative fantasy guided by dice, imagination, and childhood nostalgia. The logic behind this theory stems from how meticulously the series mirrors Dungeons & Dragons mechanics: boss progression, player trauma as debuffs, party alignment shifts, character classes, and season arcs structured like campaign chapters. Fans note how Will disappears at the exact moment the first campaign ends in Season 1, implying his absence from reality is symbolic of zoning out mid-game. In this universe, Vecna is not an eldritch psychopath, but the ultimate adversary Mike designs for the party, a final boss rooted in Henry Creel lore because of his personal narrative obsessions. The darker and more psychologically devastating twist of this theory argues that every character is merely a patient in a psychiatric ward. Inventing Hawkins to cope with their trauma, Joyce deals with grief through fantasy children, Hopper uses fictional demons to battle his own, Eleven invents powers to reclaim agency after abuse. If the show ends by revealing fluorescent hospital lights flickering overhead, fans fear everything they emotionally invested in will dissolve into cheap metaphor. Yet, the meta-self-awareness of Stranger Things would make this too as deeply ironic, audacious, and unforgiving. Number 2. Will Byers is a Vecna clone and never truly escaped the Upside Down. From the moment Will returned in Season 1, viewers sensed something unnatural about him. He coughed slugs, he saw things, he felt things, and according to this theory, he is not simply haunted. He is not the original Will at all. The real Will allegedly remains imprisoned in the Upside Down, frozen in psychic torment, while the Will in Hawkins is a biological clone engineered by Vecna as a psychic conduit. This theory has mutated repeatedly, especially after Will's lingering visions and nosebleeds in Season 5, Volume 1. Fans insist these signs reveal his biological connection to Henry Creel and that Vecna installed Will as a human firewall, a living anchor preventing the destruction of the Upside Down. Some theorists weaponize this further. Will allegedly die saving Mike, confess his feelings in a despairing emotional climax, be rejected in the most gut-wrenching homophobic backlash, and then rise as a corrupted vessel for cosmic destruction. It would be tragic, operatic, devastating, and potentially the boldest choice the Duffers could ever make. 3. Erica Sinclair solo slays Vecna with Thessal Hydra assist. Erica Sinclair has evolved from sassy side character to Hawkins' icon, and this theory crowns her as the final chosen one. Fans believe the Dungeons & Dragons moment from Season 4, where she and Dustin defeat Vecna with a critical role, was not just foreshadowing, but destiny. In Season 5, Erica allegedly becomes the warrior of prophecy, wielding a weapon forged in the Upside Down, slicing through Vecna, and cementing her legacy as the youngest savior of Hawkins. But the theory refuses to stop there. It claims Vecna transforms into the Thessal Hydra, a multi-headed monstrosity Will once painted, giving Erica the ultimate boss battle. Eleven, Will, and the rest of the cast become emotional bystanders as Erica and her blade deliver the final blow. It would be an audacious middle finger to genre tradition. Erica Sinclair, President of the Apocalypse. 4. Eddie Munson returns as Cass the Vampire and betrays Vecna. Eddie Munson's death broke the fandom, and the internet refuses to accept it. The most enduring resurrection theory argues that Eddie returns in Season 5 not merely as a zombie, but as Cass the Bloody-Handed, the vampiric lieutenant destined in Dungeons & Dragons lore to betray Vecna. This theory intensifies after alleged set leaks show undead figures, including possibly Barb, moving through the ruined dimension of Hawkins. Imagine Eddie rising in full vampiric glory, guitar shredding as weapons morph into sonic destruction, delivering poetic revenge against the monster who used him. It is the type of legendary character arc that would transform Eddie from cult icon to mythic archetype. Whether fans manifest this into existence through sheer emotional force remains to be seen. 5. Vecna is Eleven's father, or a time-looped Brenner. This theory is psychological nightmare fuel. It asserts that Henry Creel never truly died in the Upside Down, but time-looped into Dr. Brenner, engineering his own daughter's torment and shaping the world into the perfect tragedy required for cosmic evolution. Every incident, from Hawkins' lab to Eleven's training, becomes part of a nightmarish family reunion. Another version claims the Stranger Things universe is cyclical. The show restarts eternally every time Eleven destroys the Upside Down, resetting memories and resurrecting events. The first moment of Season 1 becomes the ending of Season 5. The same bike ride, the same lights flickering, the same Will vanishing. The idea terrifies fans because it implies no escape, only inevitability. 6. Karen Wheeler's secret Vecna bloodline. This theory targets an unexpected character, Karen Wheeler. Fans claim she's the long-lost sister of Henry Creel, explaining her detached domestic existence and bizarrely glamorous glow-up in Season 4. Her suburban ennui becomes cursed bloodline trauma. Joyce becomes the emotional chaos magnet. Ted Wheeler remains the comedic zombie. The Wheelers, instead of wallpaper extras, become essential cosmic chess pieces. This theory thrives because Stranger Things has consistently rewarded obscure setups with catastrophic payoffs. Hawkins' mothers becoming the mythic center of supernatural inheritance would escalate the final season's emotional carnage. 7. Dustin Henderson repeats Max's trauma arc. The Dustin theory is less whimsical and more psychologically violent. Fans believe he suffers Max's fate, targeted by Vecna, destroyed mentally and physically, revived medically, and left broken. Parallels in cinematography, grief, and framing fuel this theory. Dustin wakes altered, perhaps unable to see, perhaps semi-possessed, perhaps desperate for solace in self-destructive ways. If Dustin falls, the fandom collapses. Stranger Things thrives on the innocence of nerd culture. Destroying Dustin would declare emotional war on every viewer who has ever rolled dice, collected action figures, or made jokes to distract from pain. 8. Holly Wheeler as Vecna's trauma puppet. The newest and most emotionally weaponized theory places Holly Wheeler in mortal peril. Leaked images allegedly show her entwined in tendrils, hinting at psychic manipulation. Fans nickname this the Ginny Weasley twist. An innocent child becomes the core of Vecna's final psychological strategy. Imagine Mike and Nancy forced to confront the horror they ignored, facing the emotional accountability of neglect. Holly's possession would fracture the Wheeler family and drag their suburban normalcy into eldritch hell. The fandom already chants, "Protect Holly at all costs," proving this theory has struck collective nerve tissue. 9. The Mind Flayer was the real mastermind. Vecna's terror might pale beside what lurks behind him. This theory argues the Mind Flayer possessed Henry Creel long before the Upside Down formed. Henry was merely its first interface. Every nightmare since has been a cosmic puppet show staged by the Mind Flayer, sculpting dimensions, weaponizing trauma, and evolving hosts until it finds one capable of rewriting existence. This reframes Vecna from tyrant to tragic pawn. Fans imagine Henry dying in redemption, sacrificing himself to destroy the psychic god he once served. Such an arc would demolish everything we assumed about agency, villainy, and the true face of evil. 10. Kali returns as the missing 20 in the final dice roll. Numerology meets narrative destiny in this theory. It claims 11 cannot defeat Vecna alone. She needs Kali and the psychic siblings from Chicago, fulfilling the dice prophecy established in Season 4. 1 plus 8 plus 11 equals 20, the critical roll to victory. In Volume 1, hints of psychic signatures and shadow figures suggest the return of the lab children. Uniting 11 with her lost family would transform the final confrontation from solitary burden into shared catharsis. The metaphor writes itself. Collective trauma requires collective strength. 11. The Wolfpack Government War Arc. Linda Hamilton's casting sparked this ballistic theory. Fans believe the government launches a Black Ops team called the Wolfpack, designed to neutralize 11 as a threat. The finale mutates into a three-front war. Government versus Vecna versus the kids. Murray infiltrates the battlefield with bizarre contraptions, turning Hawkins into a paranormal war zone. It transforms Stranger Things from supernatural thriller into apocalyptic action opera. 12. Will loses an eye and gains 11's powers. Symbolism has followed Will like a curse since Season 1, and this theory weaponizes it. Fans predict Will loses an eye, echoing mythic archetypes like Odin, gaining deeper sight into the Upside Down. His bond with the dimension then glitches, transferring 11's powers into him. He becomes the gatekeeper, sealing the portal forever. This theory simultaneously grants Will closure and cosmic burden. 13. Barb returns as an undead zombie general. Barb Holland haunts the fandom's collective guilt. Her death ignited the hashtag that became legend, and now fans believe she returns leading an undead army, monstrous yet justice-bound. Vecna attempted to consume her but failed due to insufficient trauma, leaving her undead form wandering incomplete. Her return would rewrite the moral architecture of the series and avenge the forgotten victim who started it all. Our nerdy thoughts. The theories are escalating faster than Hawkins can crumble. Each one carries equal potential for heartbreak, catharsis, narrative genius, or emotional collapse. Whether the finale ends with an eternal time loop, an unmasked mastermind, a resurrection, or a psychic apocalypse, one truth remains undeniable. Stranger Things has evolved beyond television into shared mythology. The fandom does not react to the story, it co-authors it through speculation, obsession, and emotional intensity. It becomes indistinguishable from prophecy. The end is coming, the dice are rolling, and somewhere in the Upside Down, something is listening. Which theory destroys your sanity the most?
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.